Violet here, second generation homeschooling mom of 3. I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an infant. Today I wanted to share with you some of the books we checked out from the library in June. So let's get into it. So today's haul is going to be shorter than normal. We have either been sick or traveling for pretty much all of June, so we did not make it to the library that month, but I still have a few things I want to show you. So this first book is called Where Three Oceans Meet, and it's about a girl, her mom, and then her grandmother, and they travel to the southern tip of India, and kind of just how the three of them relate to different things there, and the relationships between the three of them, and then a little bit of geography too. So we really liked that book. It was very sweet. And then the next book is Free at Last, a Juneteenth poem. I wanted to get something. Juneteenth is still kind of a newer holiday for us. It's not one that we're used to celebrating, so I wanted to get something to kind of talk about that with my kids, especially since my husband gets the day off from work. So I thought this was a good book to talk about it at my kids' level, and it's just a really beautiful poem too. The pictures are great. So yeah, we really like this book. My son recently has been really into the concept of infinity, so I saw this book, Bake Infinity Pie with X and Y. X and Y are the kids. And then it kind of talks about how we can understand infinity. So my son liked this book. They talk about fractals, and then they talk about pies that go on forever in different ways, and it was a good introduction to infinity for him since he's been talking about it a lot. In keeping with our math theme, I checked out What's the Point of Math this month, just kind of to look at it because I've seen it on a lot of people's lists. And my daughter read, I think, about half of it on her own before it kind of got to concepts that she was unfamiliar with. But she found this beginning part, talking about the history of numbers and counting, really interesting. And she liked the graphics, and we'll definitely check this out again as she gets older and has learned more of this stuff. So that's a good one. This next one is called Molly and the Mathematical Mysteries. And so in each room, there's a different kind of puzzle you have to solve, and it explores different mathematical concepts, like this kind of Escher-esque staircase and infinity, fractals, things like that. So this book is cool. The next book we checked out was Making a Baby. We've checked this out before, but anytime my daughter has another question about like reproduction or something like that, I check out this book. I really like it. It's very straightforward. It's simple. It's to the point. It doesn't use like weird metaphors or anything. I think the pictures are clear and it's at an appropriate level for my daughter, and it includes a lot of different like ways that babies can be born and different kinds of things like that. So we really like this book as well. Then my daughter loves checking out science books and asking to do all the experiments in them. So we checked out this Science You Can Eat book. I like this one because most of the experiments were pretty straightforward and we already had all of the materials on hand. So we've done several of these experiments. And I feel like the science explanations are pretty well done too. Like my daughter understood what was going on, and she was explaining to my son for some of them what the point of the experiment was. So that was cool. And then we also checked out some of these I Wonder Why books, and there's a whole series of them, but they're essentially each page is a question, and then it answers, or several questions, and then it answers the question. So these are fun too. And then for me this month, I've been reading a lot about sensory processing disorder. I read The Out of Sync Child, which I don't have anymore because I returned. I have the next kind of book in the series, The Out of Sync Child Grows Up, which I will get to hopefully soon. And then I also started this book, Sensational Kids. And Out of Sync Child and Sensational Kids are both just overviews of sensory processing disorder, what it is, the different kinds there are, different behaviors that you'll see associated with sensory processing disorder. At least one of my kids has sensory processing disorder. I do as well. I've learned as I've been reading more about it. And there is a strong, like a lot of these things, there's a strong genetic component. So it's just been kind of validating and helpful to learn about how all these processing systems affect the way that people interact with the world, and all the things that I thought just growing up as a kid were normal kid things that I see now in my kids that I'm realizing are not normal. And yeah, if you ever have any questions about your kids' behavior, get them evaluated. That's the thing that I've learned this year. OTs are amazing. And then the last book that we checked out this month was this Rocks and Minerals book. It's a guide, like a field guide to different rocks and minerals. My son has been really interested in drawing different, like rocks of different colors. So he wants to know what all the red rocks are, what all the orange rocks are. My husband's part of a rock club and they have a lending library. So my husband checked this out of the rock club lending library for my son to look at. So this is a really cool field guide to rocks if you are interested in that. So those are some of the things we checked out in June. I'll post links to everything in the description box below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you click on a link and make a purchase, I do receive a small commission. Thank you for watching.